Hey, it's Lee for On Your Marks Wrestling, and I'm here with an NXT review for June 6, 2018. The show starts with Shayna Baszler. She says that she's tougher, stronger, and better than the rest of the women's division. Says that if Nikki ever gets in her face again, it'll be the last thing she ever does. Nikki Cross comes out. Baszler tells Cross that the only place where Nikki Cross is better than Baszler is in Nikki's broken head. Shayna then says that she can put Cross out in a heartbeat. Cross then kind of urges her to do it multiple times in a really creepy way. Then she kind of feints at Baszler and spooks her, makes her drop the belt. So you kind of see the first little crack in, or chink in Baszler's armor. Baszler pushes Cross, who then attacks her. Eventually she hits a really nice crossbody off the top rope. Baszler kind of escapes and runs away. Some notes from this, or my only note from this was Baszler on the mic has become so good in such a short time. She was kind of awful during the, well, I don't want to say awful, but bad during her run in the, I forgot, Mae Young Classic, and then just over time she's gotten really good. So then we have TM61 versus some jobbers. I think I eventually got their names. I think it's Mike Hughley and Robbie, either Graham or Gray. We're going to say Graham. TM61 is very aggressive. They do a little bit of cheating, a kick with a leg brace behind the ref's eyes. And then eventually the finisher looked weird, but it was just basically a forearm to the back of the head by Thorne. After the match, they cut a promo. Miller says that they've proven that they're the best team in NXT by beating Heavy Machinery and Street Profits. Thorne then says the teams need to kneel to them and call them the Mighty. I believe they're going to start going by the Mighty instead of TM61. Not sure. Then we have a little package of Lars Sullivan at the training center destroying a handful of guys while training. And then we get a match between Roderick Strong and Danny Burch. It's a hard-hitting match, but no real standout moves throughout the first little bit of the match. Eventually, the Undisputed Era come out, but right away Lorcan and Dunn are also out. They kind of brawl on the outside. Burch applies a crossface to, but he's distracted by Cole, kind of lets go of the crossface on Strong. Gives the opportunity, this little distraction for Strong to hit a backbreaker, and he kind of stacks up Burch and gets a win that way. After the match, Strong is celebrating, but Dunn is right there, punches him a couple times in the face. He's about to hit his finisher on him, but the Undisputed Era comes in and kind of undercuts Dunn and beats him up, and that's pretty much the end of it. Then we get Cassius Ohno, who's doing a photo shoot. EC3 walks onto the set and just starts kind of talking a little bit of trash. He does it jokingly, but you know there's an ounce of truth in it kind of deal. Ohno tells him that he's 1% away from being 99% unconscious. I kind of like that. Ohno then challenges EC3 to a match next week. Then we have a quick little preview of the Black versus Sullivan match coming up at the TakeOver, and then we get a bigger preview of the Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream match, and there's a kind of King versus Prince narrative that they're using. Then we get a match between Lacey Evans and Kairi Sane. This is the rubber match they're having. Lacey has Kairi Sane's name written on her hand, which is kind of interesting because that's the hand she uses for her women's right. Sane is wearing like hideous gear. It's like they're trying to make her into Asuka. She's got just weird stuff that she's wearing. It makes no sense, especially with the pirate theme. I don't get it. There's a nice little kind of like springboard handstandy Rana done by Sane, and then she also hits I guess you call it sliced bread or Salida del Sol or whatever you want to call it. There's a slingshot elbow by Evans. It's her classic move, but I like it a lot. There's a really nice moonsault attempt by Evans where she's standing on the second rope, does that whole kind of thing where you're standing this way, you jump this way, and then you do your moonsault. She misses the moonsault, but it still looked really good. There are 3 interceptor spears by Sane. She does the sliding forearm in the corner, and then she hits her kabuki elbow. She gets a near fall out of that. Evans manages to, right after that, Sane puts on an armbar, but Evans manages to fight out of it. Eventually, though, Evans is Alabama slammed by Sane, who then hits her insane elbow, and she gets the win. So Sane basically wins the rubber match. I think the crowd is waning on Sane because they're not doing all that much with her. I hope that doesn't keep happening, because I still think that elbow alone should make her super popular and keep her in the fans' good graces. I'm really struggling with my words. I'm very tired. I said that every single video I've filmed recently. So then at the end of the show, we have Ciampa who comes out to boos and some chants. He acknowledges the chants, but then he kind of dismisses them as well. Says that Gargano is always about Johnny Gargano, and he basically mentions the whole thing about Gargano coming out during another two guys' matches yesterday, the last episode, just to show that he signed his contract. I actually agree with him on that point. I thought that was the dumbest part of last week's episode. He blames Johnny for everything that's happening to him. Tells Johnny not to show up to Chicago. Johnny comes out and attacks Ciampa. Security's interference kind of allows Ciampa to put Gargano into the Gargano escape for a little while. Ciampa's leaving the ring. He's about to leave the arena when Gargano gets to him, throws him into the video board. Ciampa is bloodied, and then Gargano puts it on the Gargano escape, and that's kind of how the episode ends. Overall, this was not the strongest episode of NXT, kind of a forgettable one. Not horrible. There's still, the worst episodes of NXT are still watchable. They're only an hour long. But I'm going to go ahead and say that, and I guess if this was like a Raw episode of this level, I would be giving it a different score, but because NXT, I have higher expectations. I'm going to go ahead and give this a 6.5 out of 10. All right, thanks for watching.